You have a lot of folks out there in the mainstream media who work hard and try to get it right. You have people who are trying to get the story. But, Bill, I've seen this many times, that folks are very bold on social media against the president. They're very bold on cable TV against the president. And then when they're in his company, the knees start knocking. I've actually had to pick up people's cell phones that they drop and hand it back to them.
That was Kellyanne Conway today on President Trump and the media. The president has made it known for some time that he is no fan of what he sees as bias in the mainstream media's coverage of him. Now he appears to be taking his battle really to the next level. The president tweeting, quote, "I will be announcing the most dishonest and corrupt media awards of the year on Monday at 5 o'clock. Subjects will cover dishonesty and bad reporting in various categories. From the fake news media, stay tuned." Okay, so we all laughed hysterically when we saw this come out. Let me for a moment be an advocate and say that we get out of our bubble. I went to Florida for Christmas vacation.
Florida's out of the bubble?
Yeah, well, for me, from here. I mean, out of your normal daily routine. And someone said we were sitting there and said, "Oh, this tax plan is going to be great." And the person sitting across from me, who's very intelligent and well-informed, she said, "Except the middle class is going to pay the whole entire bill." And I was like, that's factually incorrect. Like when Nancy Pelosi said that she got
like a lovely
Pinocchios.
I know.
Well, no. This is what I said in my mind. I was more polite in person, but I was thinking, my point is, here's a smart person. What I said was, I know what channel you're watching. That's what I actually said.
Whoa.
And I said, here's a smart person who's informed, who's engaged, who wants, but because she sees certain people with certain talking points that happen to be a lie, she believes it to be true. And if it were my policy, I think there's a lot of people out there who watch one station, they believe something to be true that's provable and is factually incorrect and is not an opinion, and it's frustrating to people who know it's a lie and are on the other side. What do you think of that?
I think the president has done an exceptional job of pointing out the fake media and all these bogus stories that a lot of them have been retracted along the way. I don't know how this game show rollout is going to work, whether it's combined with the Miss USA pageant or whatnot. But, I mean, the president has obviously thought about it. He's given it a time, a location, categories. I don't know if he's accepting nominees.
Everyone will be there to watch.
Everybody will watch it.
Everyone will watch it. I don't know. Maybe CNN will boycott it, but
Even better.
All
right, even better.
Here's my next question, Katie. Who's at the top of his list?
I don't know. Is it going to be the failing New York Times or the very, very fake news Jim Acosta at CNN, as the president says? I don't know.
But you know it's going to be a badge of honor to the winners. I mean, the winners are going to love it.
Right? They need each other. It's love-hate relationship. They both need each other. The president likes the attention. The press likes the attention, even if they feign outrage with some of the things that he says.
Is up.
They will admit that the White House is more open than it has previously
really about
been.
This president. And I just remember with President Obama how he would say where he wouldn't go, and it was Fox News. Mm-hmm. And with this particular president, no matter what is going on, you say everybody's going to be watching. Access is not a problem,
right?
I mean, he'll stop on a tarmac headed to Marine One in a heartbeat, on the lawn, I should say.
He just did an interview at New York Times reporter
and talk for 40 minutes. He'll give a pop-up at the end of a cabinet meeting. I mean, access is not the issue. So if reporters want to ask good questions, they can't say that they don't have the opportunities. I know he didn't do an end-of-the-year presidential news conference, but as I pointed out to our own John Roberts on the air that Friday before Christmas, I said he has given so much press availability. It's been a chance for certain people to ask their questions. Right. So if he wants to do this, you're right. He'll have the world watching. And it'll be another access point if they take advantage of it.
And it's through his political PAC, right? So this is a fundraising thing. Exactly. We covered this on the show, I think, 2 weeks ago, right before Christmas. They sent out a fundraising email asking people to vote for these categories. So it might not even be the president deciding. It may be the supporters who decided who was the worst and who was the most dishonest, or all of the categories that they have listed.
My question is it effective to go back to, Melissa, your original point, and going back to that woman who said perhaps she just wasn't looking at an array of sources, she was watching one network, and that's where she was getting information, and she was being misled. Does it help people like that to say, maybe I need to look at another? Does it have a good impact on people who only go from one spot?
I think that it alienates the people like this woman who's obviously watching NBC and she's watching CBS and she's not watching the other stations. So it continues to alienate them, and it makes them think that he's crazy. But at the same time, it's necessary to continue to beat the drum of the message that he has gotten through, which is that the quote-unquote mainstream media that is supposed to be straight is, in fact, leaning one way or the other. I think everybody's leaning one way or the other, and you have to be honest and upfront about it, and then viewers can decide whether they believe your facts or not. But to pretend like these news sources are playing it totally straight when they're letting lies get out there and repeating them and not challenging them is outrageous, and that's what he's pointing out. All right. Anyway.